Today we're going to go over Module 4, which is discover how to write magnetic headlines that sell. This is probably one of my favorite topics because headlines and titles, the words can be used interchangeably, but headlines and titles are like one of the most important aspects of writing an effective blog post or an effective article. Think about when you read a magazine headline or a newspaper headline, what draws your attention? When you go to a magazine or a newspaper, you read the headline first. Okay, so titles are one of the most important aspects of writing. In fact, research shows that 80% of people read the titles before they read the rest of the copy. On the web, you have about 3 seconds to grab a reader's attention, so you better make your titles juicy. So what are the titles? What are titles, excuse me? Like, here's the thing. Some people get confused between the difference of titles and headlines. However, headlines and titles are kind of the same thing, but what I use as a rule of thumb, like I use headlines to write copy because writing copy is to sell, and then I use titles to write articles and blog posts because titles are used to get attention. However, you can use the same formula when writing a sales page or a blog post, just as long as it fits in with your copy. Both are used to get attention, communicate, or persuade. Those are 3 things that a title or a headline is designed to do for your reader. You want your reader to read what you're writing. Okay, so today we're going to go over a little bit of copy techniques of writing headlines that I've learned from master copywriters. I don't know if I told you guys before, but I went to, it's an online study school, but it's called AWAI. It's Artists, Writers, and Institute online, and I took one of their courses called Six Figure Copywriter. And they had some really good tips in there. One of the master copywriters that is an instructor in the course, his name is Michael Masterson. I spelled that wrong there, but Michael Masterson, he has a unique 4U formula. And basically his unique 4U formula tells how a headline should be. So there's like 4 elements in a headline. It has to be urgent, unique, ultra-specific, and useful. 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to get all 4 elements of the headline, but if you get at least 3 in your headline, you know you have a powerful headline. So let me go over these 4 formulas, these 4 elements, one by one, okay? And I'm going to give you some examples. An urgent headline gives the reason for your prospect to act fast. Usually a time element will show the reader what you have to offer is urgent. Here are some examples of an urgent headline. Learn how to make an extra $5,000 this month. That shows that you're going to learn how to make an extra $5,000 and you're going to know how to make it this month. Not next year, but this month, so that's urgent. Self-explanatory is red tech sale starts at midnight. This shows that there's going to be a red tech sale and it starts at midnight. If you want to go and buy some items, you have to be there at midnight to get a good deal. Okay. Get 50% off of Jimmy Choo shoes today only. I don't wear Jimmy Choos, but I know they're really expensive, so if that was a real sale, that will be good. I don't even think I could wear Jimmy Choos anyway because I wear size 11, and I don't think they make them that size. I'm not sure. But that shows that get 50% off of Jimmy Choo shoes today only. That's urgent because if you go tomorrow, you won't be able to get the discount, so you have to go today. Unique headlines are telling the reader something they never heard before or saying something in a different light. Here are some examples of a unique headline. This one was very popular, and it was called Burn Disease Out of Your Body. It's a long headline. That was just the main headline that got attention because it's unique. It was written by a master copywriter called Gene Schwartz. And it was a control, and basically a control is something that's mailed and is mailed and is working like direct mail when you get direct mail. But it was a control for over 20 years because burn disease out of your body. How is that possible? You're going to burn disease out of your body? So that is unique, and it piques your interest and makes you want to know more. Okay, unique headline is also telling something in a different light. How I went from being an overweight slug, into a sleek and sexy mama. That is more specific and more unique than just saying, save $10 on quick trim. When you write the benefit that the quick trim provides, it's more enticing. So the third one is discover why Japanese women have beautiful skin. It's a unique headline because you want to know why Japanese women have beautiful skin instead of saying they use Japanese cherry blossom skin cream or something like that. So discover why Japanese women have beautiful skin is a better headline. Okay, ultra specific. This is where you tell the reader what he is about to read. You can be very specific here. Save money on your car insurance today. 5 ways to reduce your electric bill. 3 simple ways to dramatically improve your figure. All of these are useful because after your reader reads these, they're going to know how to do something that will help them improve their lives. Okay? So now, those are examples of different types of headlines that you can use on your blog post or your articles. However, master copywriter Bob Bly explains in the Copywriter's Handbook 8 different types of headlines that can be used as titles in this case. So I'm going to say them and then we're going to go over them. 1, direct headlines. 2, indirect headlines. 3, news headlines. 4, how-to headlines. 5, question headlines. 6, command headlines. 7, reason why headlines. And 8, testimonial headlines. So let's go ahead and dissect them one by one. Direct headlines are direct and straight to the point. It will be something like, grab a copy of this free ebook today. Real diamonds, 30% off today. Those headlines are about as direct as you can get. Okay. So most retailers use newspaper ads with direct headlines to announce sales and bring customers into their stores. Indirect headlines. The indirect headline makes its point in a roundabout way. It usually arouses curiosity, and the question it raises are answered in the body of the copy. So here is an example. An indirect headline is something like, there's a new railroad in town. This was actually an article written by a copywriter, but you would think that he was talking about a railroad, but he was actually talking about the Internet when the Internet was when the Internet was first introduced. I saved this for Carmela, pregnancy and soy, because it tells the reader that they're going to learn about pregnancy and soy and what's the connection. So it's indirect because it's not telling what exactly it's about, but the reader will know that once they read this article or blog post, it's going to be about pregnancy and soy. The next one is the new kid on the block that can make you millions. The new kid on the block is not really talking about a new kid named Johnny down the street. It's basically talking about the Internet or social media, or you can put in whatever you think. So the new kid can be a metaphor for something else that can make you money. So those are examples of indirect headlines. News headlines are straight to the point and usually introduce some type of new product, service, or information. Like examples are introducing the new iPad 20. I said that as a joke because they're always introducing like the iPad 6, 7, I don't know. I'm not an iPad fan, but I know they have a lot of those. Finally, a Caribbean cruise as good as its brochure. That was for a new Norwegian cruise line. Usually when you say finally, that shows that something new is being introduced. Or now you can get dish cable for only $99 a month. That's letting the prospecting clients know that they can get a service for about $99 a month. So when you use now you can, finally, and introducing, those are most likely news headlines. Okay, how-to headline. A how-to headline promises the reader they will learn how to do something after they finish reading. And Bob Bly says there's over 7,000 titles, books with titles that says how to. He thinks you can never go wrong with a how-to headline, and I agree. So sometimes he's like, if you're stuck on an article or a title, just put how to in front of it, and then it will just pop. So how to train your cat to use the toilet. And that's actually true. I was watching Shark Tank, and there's something called City Kitty, and this girl from New York, she trained her cat how to use the toilet. So she's been doing good with this thing called City Kitty, where it's toilet training for your cat. How to make an extra $100,000 this year. That's showing you how you're going to make extra money this year. How to find the soulmate of your dreams. You know, after reading the article, you're going to get value tips to find the soulmate of your dreams. A question headline. A question headline asks the reader something they would empathize with or would like to be answered. A couple of question headlines you can use are you making this mistake with social media marketing? That entices the person to read the copy and see if they are making the mistake so they can know how to correct it. Do you really want to get married? This is some kind of advice that shows that the reader that you may be offering them advice and telling them a couple of things they should know before they get married. What do successful internet millionaires know that you don't? This is showing that you're going to reveal a secret of what successful millionaires know that your prospect doesn't. Cool. Question headlines should always focus on the reader and their curiosity and their needs. Okay. Command headlines. Command headlines are exactly how they sound. Here are some examples. Don't let a DUI ruin your life. Stop working for slave wages. Find your soulmate today. Get in shape today. Reason why headlines. The reason why gives answers to your prospect's most pressing question. And here are some examples. 7 reasons why you are still fat and what you can do about it. That would be from like a personal trainer or a dietitian or weight loss expert. The number one reason you can't sleep at night. It's going to reveal the number one reason why they can't sleep at night. 5 reasons why you should join Facebook today. Those are 3 examples of reason why headlines. Testimonial headlines. Testimonial headlines are simply just sharing what a customer said after working with you. You usually put quotation marks around the testimonial headlines. I never touched a piano, and now I can play Bach. That was actually one of my clients' headlines. She's a piano tutor, and she had taught a couple of students how to play piano that had never touched a piano before, and that was one of her testimonials that she used on her website. One simple trick I learned from Mark helped me double my sales in less 3 months. This is a results-oriented testimonial and is showing that Mark, I just made this up, but I'm just saying it just shows Mark was a successful consultant and helped a person double their sales in 3 months. But think about your business and think about the testimonials that you have received and how you can use them as a headline in your blog or article. Okay, the next one is, thanks to Amy, I found my soulmate. It's basically straight to the point. It's showing that a matchmaker had set a person up, and she found her soulmate, and that's a good testimonial for a matchmaker. Okay, there's other things that you could do. Bob Fly had those. Those were 8. So let me just go over them again really quick so you could know. Just 1 second. So 1 was direct headlines, 2 indirect headlines, 3 news headlines, 4 how-to headlines, 5 question headlines, 6 command headlines, 7 reason why headlines, and 8 testimonial headlines. And when I'm saying headlines, you could still use the term titles, because in Bob Fly's book, most of these headlines, they can be used as great titles for blog posts or articles. They're not really trying to sell anything. They're really just trying to give your reader more information. And here are some other examples of titles that you can use on your blog. So explain why things the way they are. For example, why business owners need a blog. Or why social media managers have to have good people skills. So you could tell and explain things the way they are. Another one is shock. So you could write why you will never become a millionaire or something like that, and it will show, and then you could tell your audience the reasons why they will never become a millionaire, but not in a negative light. You could just address a couple of points and then turn it into a positive article. Shock, did you know that 70% of, you could fill in the blank, fail? I know it's like, did you know that 90% of businesses or 80% of businesses fail? But I think everybody knows that. So you just think about things that can cause shock to your reader that would like them to read. Okay. 5 warning signs that you are at risk of a stroke. That's a shock article. The hidden dangers of using a cell phone. Okay. Another thing is hidden knowledge. Sometimes, as I said about yesterday, like think about things in your industry that no one is telling your audience. So basically, you could say something like 7 insider secrets SEO firms don't want you to know, or 3 secrets that your doctor doesn't want you to know, or something like that. Or the real reason why I was able to go from struggling to 6 figures in less than a year, because there was some hidden knowledge there, and maybe someone's going to be sharing their hidden techniques and strategies to help you emulate their success. Okay, there were some other examples that I had got from Karen Greenstreet. Her blog is at passionforbusiness.com. She wrote a blog post, and I thought it was very interesting. And I'm like, why reinvent the wheel? Because she had a lot of good content on her site. So if you want to go to her site and check her out too, it's passionforbusiness.com. But here's some titles that she used. 10 easy ways to wash your dog. 5 exciting ways to make spinach that children will eat. 20 minutes to learn chess like a pro. Get a complete personality makeover 1 day or less. So those are some examples, some great examples of blog posts that get read. Okay. So another thing about blog posts, what's very popular is a lot of people love list articles, and basically what list articles are telling people different ways to do something. So a list article could be with numbers, and popular numbers and titles are usually 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, 12, and 20. Be careful when you go over 10, because sometimes big numbers can be overwhelming. I know that sometimes there people have monstrous posts where it's like 50 ways to do this or 100 ways to do that. When they go over 20, usually they break their blog post up into series. So they'll do the first 10 the first week, the second 10 the second week, and the third 10 the third week, and so on. So when you are writing blog posts, just make sure that be aware that your reader is most likely pressed for time and reading on their cell phone, so you want to give them quick information and don't overwhelm them. So give it to them in little nuggets. Okay. So sometimes there's power words to use, well, not sometimes, all the time, power words to use to let the reader know you're going to share something with them. So basically, I'm not going to go over all of these, but there's a lot that you can use. So instead of saying something like make money with social media, you could change it and say 3 keys to making more money with social media. Or instead of saying find out how to make money online, you could say something like 3 simple steps to make more money online. And I'm saying, instead of saying you can learn blogging, you could say 6 elements to an effective blog post. So these are words that will entice the reader and want them to know more. So I'm just going to go over some briefly, but not too much. So these are good, like most popular, most common: keys, steps, elements, secrets, mistakes, tips, ways, signs, tools, strategies, tactics, habits, fears, dangers, tricks, pillars, ideas. This is like your cheat sheet, so you can use it when you decide to write, when you get ready to write your blog post, you can use these. And it's good to put the number with the power word. So you could say 3 keys to fill in the blank, or 7 elements to fill in the blank, if you get what I'm trying to say. Another one is powerful adjectives. You want to say something like simple. You want to make sure, not simple, but the adjectives like simple, fast, easy, quick, fun, instant, effective, deadly, dangerous, critical, awesome, amazing. There's a lot of different words you can use, but these are some of the most common. I was helping one of my clients do a title for his book, and we came up with a simple guide to more money, time, and happiness, because we wanted to make sure that the reader knew that it was going to be a simple read, so we added that word in there. And then when we said other things, we'll say 3 quick and easy ways. We know that the reader is going to get the information, and that reader knows that they're going to find out a quick and easy way to do something. So that's really important, because you don't want to bore the reader. And if you don't put in like quick and easy ways or something like simple or something like that, they're probably going to be bored and not read the rest of your copy. Then they have titles with commands. Titles with commands are basically don't, stop, start, let go, boost, accelerate, like boost your business, start a new business today, stop working so hard, discover the secrets that millionaires use. So those are kind of commands that you can use with your audience. And as I said before, there's question titles. You can ask questions in your title, like you can ask certain questions in your titles, like, do you know what millionaires know that you don't? And I said this, I went over this, but I'll go over it again. Should you get married? Are you making the same mistake that other social media managers are making? And so just think about the questions you can ask your audience that will entice them to read the rest of your copy. Okay? And then we have some emotional trigger words. Sometimes you want to think about some words that will ignite the person's pain, quote-unquote pain in their mind, because you want to tap into their emotions. Even though writing a blog post is more about writing to communicate, and writing copy is more about writing to their emotions, but a blog post can also be writing to emotions. So you want to use some words that will resonate with how your prospect is feeling. So you could say, are you sick and tired of working day in and day out and still not making any money? Are you frustrated and annoyed that everyone in your industry is making millions and you're still stuck making pennies? So you could say, are you confused and overwhelmed about internet marketing? Are you disappointed about your results? Are you depressed and stressed out? There's a lot of other words here. Are you frazzled? Are you worried, burdened? There's other power words like happy, blissful, rich, content, excited, joyful, ecstatic. Okay?